Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will be talking about spherical mirrors. So for spherical mirrors, there are primarily two kinds. The first one is called converging mirrors, or sometimes we call it a concave mirror. And this kind of mirror looks like this. Another kind is someone look like this. This is called a diverging mirror, or sometimes we call it a convex mirror. So we'll look at these two different kinds of mirrors separately. So for the first kind, we will see that the surface where there's no dashed lines means it can reflect lights. So it can reflect lights like this, can reflect light like that. So it can reflect lights. That's my point. Then we will look at how different parts of this mirror functions. So first, we will recognize that for each mirror, we have two very important points on this central axis. The first one is the center point, which means if we draw this, if we complete this sphere, this would be the center of the circle. So I will make sure this is relatively more accurate. So this should be placed at somewhere here. So this should be the center of the sphere. And at halfway through the center, we have the focal point of this spherical mirror, this concave converging mirror. So remember, the focal point is always at half of the distance of the center or of the radius of this concave mirror. And now, if we want to draw a light ray, incoming light ray like this, it will reflect off of the reflective surface of the mirror with a normal line of the center. So this would be the normal line, and the reflective line will be going through the focal point. Like this. And these two angles will be the same because it's the law of reflection. The second line we will draw is the one that goes through the focal point. So let's say we have a line that's looks like this, or let's actually draw it from here. So we have a line that comes through the focal point. So we would still have a normal line with the center, and then the outgoing ray will be horizontal. And the final line that we could draw would be the one that goes through the center. And the reflective ray, or the outgoing ray, will be exactly the same as the incoming ray. So these three will be the light rays that are usually sketched on a spherical mirror, or also on spherical lenses, but we will talk about maybe in our next video. Now, the reason why this kind of mirror is called a converging mirror or a concave mirror is because the focal point of this mirror is in front of the mirror. So if we want to let this mirror form an image, the image will actually be formed in front of the mirror, where we as observers can actually see the image. In contrary, if we look at diverging mirror or a convex mirror, the center will be located, and also the focal point will be located um, behind the spherical mirror. So if we still draw the three kind of light rays on this spherical mirror, on a diverging mirror, we will have some interesting effect. So still, we draw a parallel light ray to the central axis, and we will still have a normal line extended from the center of the spherical mirror. And then we will have the outgoing ray, something like this. So this ray has a special property where it actually, if we extend this ray a little bit, we will see that it actually extends right through the focal point. So instead of the reflective light ray converges right on the focal point in front of the mirror, for a diverging mirror, the reflected light ray will actually extend through the focal point, which places right behind the mirror. The second one will be one that goes something like this. So we pretend that the light ray actually goes through the focal point, um, the incoming light ray. And we will see that the outgoing light ray will be parallel to the central axis. The normal line, again, is still going through the center. So we can see that for diverging mirror, all the imaging and the converging of the uh, light rays are happening behind the mirror, where we as observers can actually not see the image. Therefore, the image formed by a diverging mirror is called a virtual image, while an image formed by a converging mirror is called a real image. And we can physically see that the light rays for a diverging mirrors are actually diverging, as the name suggested, and we can see that the light rays of the converging mirrors are actually converging. So these two are two of the very common spherical mirrors usually taught in optical physics, and they're super cool. And each of them has a very wide real-life applications as well. And in our next video, we will be talking about spherical lenses, which is somewhat similar to spherical mirrors. Thank you very much.